Welcome to the 42nd episode of the Nordic Sports News Podcast, the world's first daily cross-country ski and biathlon podcast with the latest news from around the globe. Today we check the race report and results from the Hochfilzen Biathlon World Cup, the Martell Junior IBU Cup, and also we have a close look at the surprising decision of one of the Norwegian cross-country skiing stars regarding his approach to the Beijing 2022 Olympics. First, let's check the impressive win by the Belarusian Hanna Sola in today's Hochfilzen sprint. Belarusian Hanna Sola went 5 for 5 in the prone stage, matched that in standing and sprinted the last loop, winning this afternoon's Hochfilzen women's 7.5 km sprint in 20 minutes and 44 seconds. Sola's win was a career best, after 3 previous third places. Justine Brazes-Boucher of France, with 2 penalties, used her ski speed to secure second place, 46.8 seconds back. Norway's Marte Olsbu Roiseland shot clean in third place, 50.3 seconds back. Olsbu Roiseland's teammate Ida Lean matched her on the range but finished fourth, 52.5 seconds back. Sweden's Hanna Eberg, with 2 penalties, finished fifth, 56.5 seconds back. Norway put a third woman in the top 6 as Tyrell Eckhoff, with 1 penalty, finished 6th, 1 minutes and 7 seconds back. In the men's field, the German Johannes Kuhn also surprised everyone with his first victory in his career in the World Cup. At the start of this sprint, we were waiting for the awakening of Johannes Thingsbo, the confirmation of Sebastian Samuelsson, or a new podium signed by the French biathletes. Finally, it was not in the Tyrolean win, since it was the German Johannes Kuhn who won. Author of a 9 shots out of 10, by missing once on standing, he especially made one last fast lap on the skis to pocket his first victory on the World Cup circuit. A great revenge for the Bavarian, who started his winter at the IBU Cup in Idre, Sweden. Third in the first sprint, then fourth in the other sprint and the pursuit, he then won his ticket to the World Cup, signing 2 top 15s last week in Östersund. "We can fight for the top 10 and even for the podium with our best people," explained Mark Kirchner, the national coach, at the start of the week. Kuhn's performance is in this line, and even beyond, since the victory was not mentioned. It is also the first German victory since that won by Arne Pfeiffer, now retired from the shooting range, on the same site in Hochfilzen on December 20, 2020. On the podium, behind Kuhn, we find at 14 seconds Martin Ponsiluoma, after some complicated races at home, and, at 20 seconds, the Belarusian Anton Smolsky, author of his first podium at the highest level. Today was also the first race of the season for the Junior IBU Cup in Martell, Italy. Darius Laudel and Sarah Scatolo were the winners of the 15 km and 12.5 km individual races, respectively. In the notable absence of France, Norway, or even Sweden, the first race on the Junior IBU Cup resulted in an unprecedented podium. World champion with the German relay in 2019, Darius Laudel won this first race. With 19 shots out of 20, the 21-year-old German was ahead of the Ukrainian Stepan Kynashe and the Italian Elia Zeni. In the junior women's side, Italian victory at home for the first race of the IBU Junior Cup circuit. Sarah Scatolo was ahead of 3 Germans. Bronze medalist with the Italian relay at the Youth Worlds last year, the Italian won the first race of the Junior Cup season. After a winter without competition, the Junior Cup was expected, but not by the French, the Norwegians, or the Swedes, who had bypassed it. In the absence of these 3 nations, it is in particular the Italians and Germans who distinguished themselves. In Martell, the biathlete from Fornia-Voltri was ahead of 3 Germans, in particular thanks to her skiing time, the third of the day. Behind the Transalpine we find in fact Louisa Müller, Selina Marie Castel, and Marika Braun. Now, to wrap up our news today, let's check the surprising decision of Hans Christer Holund. Norwegian cross-country skier Hans Christer Holund has decided to skip many World Cup competitions to focus on the Beijing 2022 Olympic Games. He is currently the only one to do this. At 32, Hans Christer Holund has decided that cross-country skiing competitions in Davos this weekend will be his last before the 2022 Beijing Olympics. The Norwegian, in agreement with his trainer, Erik Myrnason, has developed a plan to optimize his preparation for the Olympics in China. "I do not need to compete to be in great shape for the Olympics," double world champion from Oberstdorf told NRK. His second place in the individual skate in Lillehammer, last weekend, in any case allowed him to set up his tactics for the games. He was very relieved. "If I hadn't been able to do these performances, I wouldn't have been able to follow my plan A, but if I want to win Olympic gold, I will now have to prepare as best as I can." The Scandinavian is aware that there is still a long way to go before China. This is why he will henceforth train at altitude, bypassing the Tour de Ski, Les Russes, and Planica World Cups. This year, it's not like every winter. The World Cup is located at a low altitude while the Olympic site will be on the summits. Hans Christer Holund has found over the years that he responds better to training, coach Erik Mørn told Norwegian media. After Sunday's 15-kilometer skate, 57 days will separate Hans Christer Holund from his next race. It will be the 30-kilometer skiathlon in Beijing on February 6. And that's all for today, folks. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channels on YouTube, Spotify and Instagram. Just type Nordic Sports News on these platforms and access our content. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow in the next episode. Information credits to Nordic Mag, xcski.de, and RK and Biathlon World.